Hey, thank you for doing this.
How do you want it?
It's low.
Good.
It's okay, he has a little bum, so.
This whole team is full of freakazoids.
All right, so what are we doing here? You're supposed to be asking me the questions, right?
Do you want me to tell the truth?
Yeah, sure.
Am I being recorded right now?
No.
Is my car normally clean? No. Stop! Get inside of here.
Stop filming, it's so fucking awkward.
Garvey is currently on fire right now.
Up in flames.
Yeah, he's not doing good. We should go.
wigging out.
Let's go talk to him. Come on.
So my car blew up, and that car was my baby. And I have been driving it like a madman, if I'm being honest. My car's top speed that I ever hit was I think 22. Shocking for a Camry. A 97 Camry, because the max number on the dash was 140 before it exploded. And speaking of the explosion, that did in fact happen because I was trying to race someone. And I just got on the highway. I was going pretty quick, or actually I was not going pretty quick. I was trying to go quick, and I was going about 80, but I was pushing the engine to about 6,000 RPM. And I heard a little pop and grind in the hood, and I'm like, oh, that's real bad. And I look in the rearview mirror, and I see the smoke, the white smoke, come behind my car. So I pull it over, and I hop out. I look at me and my friend, we run up to the hood, we open it, we look inside, and we see a fire.
It's really funny to watch other drivers. Like, so many people think and act like they're still in privacy. Because yeah, there's so many like funny and gross things that you'll notice if you just like pay attention to the people around you. The picking of the nose. People, I think it's really funny when I come up to a stoplight and then I can see the car in front of me just dancing because somebody's like really jamming out to like whatever's on the radio or on their tunes. And then like there's the people who just, you drive by and they're just kind of leaning back and they're just trying to be like really cool, like yeah, who cares? But okay, you're trying to style it for the public. Okay, I don't know. It's just like there's so many funny little things that happen, and that's like for the broader world. Life is so funny if you take the time to watch what's going on around you.
It's a really sad story. Do you want a sad story?
Yeah, good.
When I was a senior in high school, I went to Cleveland Heights High School, and 3 students died in a car accident. And I think that that's maybe some reason why like speed and stuff gets me, because it was the speed. Speed was a factor in the car accident. And I always just think about how invincible high schoolers think they are, and
Every time I'm on the highway, I'm hitting 100, at least.
part of me is like, oh, you should feel that way so that you can like be bold in your life. But I think that there's like realities that.
No, I do have a bias with people that don't drive very good. That's probably about my only bias that I have. I'd say if I was on the power rankings for the NFL, I'd say 9.5 out of 10. Now, not 25, 30 years ago, I'd probably be a 1. Hey, if there ain't nobody coming and it's the middle of the night out and you're driving through East Cleveland, you're stopped at a red light, do you want to sit there and wait till that light turns red, or if it's safe, you're going to go? Yeah, I'm going to go.
There was this guy, and he was on his phone, clearly, and, like, he would, like, stop, like, way behind the car in front of him, and, like, he would, like, be on his phone, like, he'd start accelerating while on his phone, and I watched him rear end this one driver in front of him. I'm like, what an idiot. He was on his phone, accelerating, like, come on, man. That's the #1 rule of driving, no crashing into other people.
Have you ever crashed?
No, never. I never have, and I never will. I'm a very responsible driver.
There's rumors being spread that I'm a horrible driver, which is sad, but what are you gonna do? I don't know if I could actually parallel park if I tried. I didn't know that like you were actually supposed to stop at a stop sign.
I don't even tell people to stop at stop signs, so you just...
I think they think they're cool not using their turn signal. But they're just stupid.
Does this need to be all legal?
No.
No, absolutely
Absolutely not.
I did all the driving before I got my license, though. Like my attempts to. I went to court for me not having my license because that was the third time I got pulled over without a license. I had seen maneuverability 3 times. So I just like swerved from my lane into his lane and I cut him off. We raced him and the car almost tipped over. So the car like rammed above the curb. And now I'm going to beat my horn at you. I'm going to like roll my window down and make faces at you and run me over. And she still does not know to this day that I'm the one that took the bumper off the car. She had to pay like $800 and like I did that. Like obviously when it comes to like skill, like I can make it from point A to point B, but is it in the safest way possible? Absolutely not. Like I do not think like at 16, like I don't think, well 15 and a half technically, I genuinely don't think sometimes like people have like the mental capacity to like operate on a road with so many like unpredictable variables and things like that. Like it's actually really like somebody should really look into that.
In America, like the threshold for what's required to learn how to be able to have a license is so low. It's like genuinely dangerous. I think it should be a lot higher. Like the questions that they ask you, like on the written, you have to do like a written test, and the questions they ask you is it's like alcohol while drinking while driving is A, good, B, terrific, C, amazing, or D, bad. And it's like, okay, this is like the most obvious test I've ever taken.
If I was to become like president, I would not allow teenagers to get their license. But I think I'm a great driver. Out of all my friends, I am definitely top 3. You need to interview Millie. She has 0 situational awareness. She doesn't see stop signs. She doesn't see red lights.
Yes, I'm a very good driver. I'm a very, contrary to popular belief, I'm a very good driver. And I'm like, was it Kyla? I know Kyla probably said I'm a bad driver, but she's a worse driver than me. So it's okay. I hate all the drivers in the master school parking lot. Yeah, this is a PSA to every single driver in that parking lot. You guys are all awful. They're a bunch of crybabies. They always have something to say about how I drive. Especially Kyla, especially Francie. No, I hate slow drivers. Actually, I hate slow drivers.
The speed limit's 35 miles an hour, for example. It doesn't mean I have to drive 35. I could do 25 or I could do 30. And then there's people behind you trying to get you to go faster and faster and faster. That drives me nuts.
Like, yes, I know what the speed limit is, and no, I'm not saying you have to go 45 over the speed limit. But if everyone else is going, like, at least 20 over, the respectful thing to do is to go 20 over with everybody else. Maybe I am a bad driver. I don't know.
Probably in the last several years, I've been more responsible and more cautious and paying attention to the road and not doing things that are distractive. It's probably been about 25 years since I've been in a vehicle accident, just 2 when I was younger, not paying attention. We didn't have cell phones, so there was no such thing as texting and driving, so it was just plain stupidity, not paying attention. I mean, everybody who knows me, that knows me well, I'm very direct, and there are, I would say probably 33% of drivers just lack common sense.
I was driving once for like the first time, and I was about to turn onto a road, and again, another like big trucker came behind me and just gunned it, and like passed me when it was illegal to pass me. And I was really tempted to flip him off, but I was composed. Also because my mom was in the car, and I probably wouldn't be allowed to drive if I flipped somebody off. But when I get a car, it'll be a little bit different. You know, I'll be a little bit angrier. I'll use the gas pedal a little bit more.
Well, I typically don't drive this car. My sister hijacked my old car and decorated it with ridiculous doodads that I'm embarrassed to drive. This is my avocado. So this is my dad's car. It has a steering wheel, helps me direct the car, which Eliana's pretty poor at because she always hits the curb. I really like playing bumper cars with the car in front of me, trying to see how close I can get before I hit them. No, I've never actually hit a car before. I've only hit the garage. Oh, I hit one parked car in the Whole Foods parking lot. Can never go back there. Can't show my face there ever again. I take some liberties on the road, you might say. I definitely like to take my half out of the middle when I'm driving in a 2-lane street. School zones have occasionally become optional to me. I've never gotten a ticket, so I hope this won't be used against me. But can't be perfect. I know you sure aren't.
So this is the trunk. This is where you put stuff. We got windows. Yeah, they have windows in Teslas. They go up and down. And yeah, that's it. Did you just fart, dude? I'm like, no, it's my car.
Do you want to put them on?
Can I?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Thank you. I guess if you think about me driving down the freeway saying I love you to somebody I don't know, that's pretty funny. Less of the, you know, like kind of holding on to the thing which I don't have here. So, and more of like just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying the drive.
I drove into Boston once, and I had to immediately pull over because I was too scared because all the drivers there were like just whizzing by. I was recently in New York City. My dad was driving, and I've never been so scared in my life. I don't know how there's not more accidents because it feels like everybody's like this close to each other.
And it's not like New York where there's always the honking and
yeah.
Nowhere's going to be as bad as people in New York. Like, the drivers I've seen in New York are absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, I'd be scared to walk.
Excitingly enough, I've been on many public buses in Israel that have hit other cars and then kept driving. There are no rules when it comes to Israeli driving. Speed limit, a suggestion. Driver's license, don't need one. Hit a car, keep driving.
What do you think about Cleveland drivers?
They're the worst drivers in the world next to Boston drivers. Boston drivers literally kill me. I hate them. Actually, Cleveland's not that bad.
I think Cleveland drivers are really nice. I've driven in a lot of places. I've lived in New York and Manhattan. I've lived on the East Coast. I've lived in Atlanta. I think Cleveland drivers are usually very kind. They will let you in.
Is that recording now?
Yeah.
But anyways.
I love driving personally.
Sometimes I hate driving.
I hate driving.
I don't like driving. I hate driving. It's not fun. I would rather not have to do it ever.
Like before the age of 4, I was in 2 separate car fires. Because I used to live in Africa, and like African cars are like a little bit, like, you know, they're a little jank. So yeah, they just like kind of randomly catch on fire while you drive them, which is not really that great. She's just driving down the road, and then I look over and I see this like 4-foot tall flame off the car. And I just like, it doesn't hit me immediately. I'm like, huh, it's kind of weird. And then I'm like, oh shit, like the car is on fire. So I start like screaming and like yelling, and it's like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god, the car's on fire. So we pull over to the side of the road, and I jump out, I unbuckle my seatbelt, jump out. My mom does the same. My little sister, who was 6 at the time, she couldn't get her seatbelt on time. It was stuck. Like for 15 seconds, she was stuck trying to get it, and my mom was like trying to undo her seatbelt, pull her out while the car was literally on fire. Eventually, she got out, but then like maybe like a few minutes after she got out, the car exploded. Like an explosion.
I almost crashed into the car in front of me, which was horrible. So that wasn't really good of me. And I want to try to do better. It's really easy to not focus on what you're doing and forget that you are in charge of like something like that can like kill people, you know what I mean, and like crash and like hurt people.
I do become concerned when I've got family members in the car, because then it becomes not just like my safety, like I'm okay, but when like I'm worried about family members, or if I've got friends in the car that I'm driving, like I'm always like super keenly aware of my responsibility to keep the people in my car safe.
Why do you think we drive?
Why do you think we drive? Because walking sucks. That's why.
I think that driving is used right now as a form of connection. Societies are based on being able to interact with other members and other facets of society. And the way that we live right now, especially in the suburbs when we're so spread out, it's hard to create community when we don't live together. So driving gives us the medium and the modality to be able to come together physically. We all know what it was like to not be together physically in person from being involved in the corona pandemic. So now that we have the opportunity to safely gather, vehicles give us the opportunity to be close to one another, whether that's private transportation, public transportation, boats.
I think I'd rather have a boat.
Usually there's a lot of like Red Bull cans on the ground. I like to say that.
You like Red Bull?
My car is where Red Bull cans go to die. You know, I'll just drink them and then I'll throw them in the back seat. The more Red Bull I drink, the better of a driver I am. So I think I just need to drink more Red Bull. I sometimes, my biggest problem is I like to not pay attention when I'm driving. I have gotten in very few accidents, I will say. I backed up into a tree stump. I accidentally ripped my side mirror off, took my foot off the brake, and I rear-ended somebody in front of me. But all of the ones that I have gotten in have been because I wasn't paying attention to something. I like to space out a little bit. And I will always brake for animals, or even imaginary animals that I think might be crossing the road soon. So, you know, like shadows that are coming across. Or if I see a bunny way over there and I imagine it might run across, I'll slow down a lot because just in case, you know. I did, when I was a new driver, I did run over a rabbit, and the first one made it and the second one did not.
So I was driving home and there was this snapping turtle in the middle of the road. And my instructor said that they can damage the tires. And so I had to stop there for 2 minutes, and it took forever to cross the road before we could go. I would have just run it over if I was on my own, but apparently it's very dangerous for the tires. So for deer I would stop, but if it's just a squirrel or a bird or something, I mean, you're supposed to run over them.
Like I said, I am not known to be the world's best driver. So I am not allowed to drive my husband's car anymore because I ran over one of those parking blocks. I just drove straight over it. Not just the parking block, but you know how they have those little concrete hill things that have the trees. I just drove over it and I didn't want to stop once I realized what I was doing. And then I scraped up the bottom of his car. But overall, I'm pretty good. I'm a decent driver. I prefer to go through life without having to constantly pay attention to safety. Oh, another hard thing about driving is changing your CD while you're driving. You guys probably don't know about this since you don't have to change CDs. But you have to open the CD and take it out, and then can I show you how I have to open the CDs in this car? Okay, so this little button down here, you press this, I think. There we go, and check it out. And then you put the CD, there's nothing in here right now, so, oh, there is something in here. Oh, this is that Finback album. And then you have to open this, and you have to put it back in here, and meantime you're checking out, okay, there's a stop sign, great, I gotta find my CD that I want, okay, oh, I really want to listen to Swirlies right now, and then you put this in, and then it does this fancy thing. Okay, I'm driving.
Okay, let's see that car show.
Yeah, let's see the light show. We have to get out, right?
Yeah.